Today, we're comparing draft prospects Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green. If you haven't yet, please share and subscribe to help grow the channel, and I hope you enjoy the video. Today's video is powered by SeatGeek. Get $20 off any ticket sold using promo code AITRIGHT on the SeatGeek app or website. The Detroit Pistons won the NBA draft lottery and have the right to the #1 draft pick. By all accounts around the league, there are 4 players who have separated themselves from the rest of the pack, and of those 4, 2 of them have become favorites for the #1 pick. I know most Pistons fans want Cade Cunningham, and there's a consensus around the league believing he will go #1. But there's also some apprehension and some fear of missing out with Jalen Green. The Pistons badly need to take a guard, and I'm extremely high on both prospects, but it's still important to see how they stack up against each other. The player comparisons are fun for me because you can see their similar playing styles already in the NBA, how these guys can impact the game. It's almost like looking into the future. For me, Cade Cunningham is similar to Paul George or Luka Doncic. These guys can score the ball without being physically overwhelming, and they don't rely too much on their athleticism to get to their spots. Big guards who can create off the dribble and score at all 3 levels with takeover ability. For Jalen Green, it's Zach LaVine. Bouncy, athletic, quick with good size, can score in bunches out to the 3, mid-range above the rim, but understand that LaVine worked his tail off to become an NBA All-Star caliber type guard. Green has to have that same mentality when approaching the game. He just spent a good amount of time with NBA vet Jarrett Jack and the G League Ignite team. Hopefully he was a sponge during this time. Despite both of them being considered big guards, they have very different physiques. Jalen Green is 6'5"-ish. I've seen him listed at both 6'5" and 6'6". He also has a 6'7" wingspan. It sounds decent, but that's only a +1 or +2 split between his height and wingspan. And Jalen Green comes in to weigh about 185. But when you look at Cade, he's bigger than what people think. He measures at 6'8", with a 7'1" wingspan. He's a +5 split between his height and wingspan. This will help him so much defensively. This will allow him to shoot over defenders, especially in late game clutch situations. He's also 220 pounds, so other guards can't really move him. He's as big as guys like Tobias Harris and Harrison Barnes, but he'll be running the backcourt. Cade's size advantage surpasses Green by quite a bit. Gotta go with Cade on this one. Athletically, Jalen Green takes the cake. He has a vertical leap of about 42-43 inches. He's incredible in the open court, and with his first step when he shows off his explosion and speed of his fast twitch. Despite having a shorter wingspan, his ability to get off the ground and finish at the rim is impressive. Hanging in the air, challenging shot blockers and rim protectors, whether he's going for a dunk or an acrobatic layup. Cade isn't the athlete that Green is. Vertical is mid-high 30s and isn't as explosive. He's still athletic in the grand scheme of things, but he does a better job at using his body and working angles than overwhelming the opposition with an elite level of quickness and speed. Jalen Green pretty easily takes the nod here. Cunningham shot over 40% from 3 this year in college. Spot up, off the dribble, pull up, pick and roll, and he has a nice shot with the form that will translate to the next level. As mentioned before with his size, he's going to be able to see over most defenders and shouldn't get his shot bothered even if he has a half-decent look. I've seen comparisons to Ben Simmons, and that's just incredibly lazy. Cade shot almost 6 threes per game at a high percentage. Neither aspect is part of Ben's game right now. Now, Green also shot well in the G League this year, almost 37% from 3 against tougher competition, and going from high school to the NBA three-point line is a huge difference. 19 feet 9 inches in high school to 23 feet 9 inches in the G League. That's a 4-foot difference. I was impressed with his ability to adjust seamlessly to the distance, and he was getting up over 5 threes per game. I have a draw on this. Cade technically shot better, but Green shooting 3 feet further than Cade with a similar free throw percentage, while Green was a much better shooter from 2, which is probably attributed to less space in college for the offense, but I think a tie is fair. One part of Jalen Green's game he has to improve on is his ability to create. He averaged almost 3 assists, but basically had a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He was put into a position right out of high school to be given the ball and make decisions, which wasn't always an easy task. At times, he doesn't know where to go with the ball, threw a bad pass, was a fraction too late on a read, so he was 50-50 on making a great or bad decision. Cade was a bit similar, except he had less assists than turnovers this year. He had a lot of the issues that Green saw, except there was less spacing to navigate, and he faced more types of defenses and schemes in college ball and in the Big 12 than Green did in the G League. He's shown to have incredible potential as a passer, but a lot of teams threw different looks and bodies at him that they won't be able to do in the NBA. Also, some of Cade's passes were missed opportunities by his teammates, but they will be finishes in the NBA. The stats are a little bit misleading here, so I'm going to give the nod to Cade. Overall, in my opinion, these are the only two options available for Detroit at number 1. I just don't think they can afford to not go with Cade Cunningham. With what he brings as a versatile player on both ends, and he has the highest floor in the draft with very low bust potential. So even if he doesn't turn out to be an elite all-star caliber player, he'll still end up as a pretty solid prospect.
Dan Dockage can't guard me.